Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Friday, November 10, 2023, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. Man's chief delusion is his conviction that there are causes other than his own state of consciousness. All that befalls a man, all that is done by him, all that comes from him, happens as a result of his state of consciousness. A man's consciousness is all that he thinks and desires and loves, all that he believes is true and consents to. That is why a change of consciousness is necessary before you can change your outer world. The best way to put it is that we're like this omnipotently powerful cosmic energy beacon. The beacon sends out waves 360 degrees. Picture that, visualize that through your heart mind. So we're all going about our life, and at times we have this, the beacon really gets excited, right? And it can get excited through anger, hate, destructive, revenge, manipulation, deceit. It can get very excited with that. And so it sends out this wave, 360 degrees, pure cosmic energy at varying frequencies. Now, when you're happy and joyous and loving and caring, it's still exciting. It's exciting, but the frequency in that wave is much higher. It's much more light-filled, love-filled, genuineness-filled, authentically filled. So you picture that. Now imagine how that would affect, or does affect, others on this planet. Just you, right? All of us, going about our course of the day. And whenever we become agitated, irritated, frustrated, we change the field of emission with that beacon. Now that field, that energy, just literally saturates everything around you. And it gets intense. The more you go into that direction, the more intense it gets. So does that affect everybody? Yes, it does. It's not like you can sense things. All right, we all pick up those energy waves, the God within us. We sense it through the heart mind, not the ego mind. You're not always able to put the finger on it, right? Excuse me, but you feel it. You know that something has just washed over you. Now, when you're in let's say a group, I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you're with a group of people, and all of a sudden you feel agitated and irritated, and with no provocation. You just, somebody didn't bump into you, somebody didn't say anything to you, but your mood was great. But then you walk in to this crowded area of people, and you pick up this. It's not like you're looking for it, it just comes into you. And you become irritated and stressful and agitated, you don't know why. And why am I feeling this way? I shouldn't be feeling this way. Now, how do you counteract that? Well, awareness, consciousness. So you say to yourself, okay, I get this. I know what's happening here. These waves, there's a lot of people, and they are appears to be agitated. Okay? And that agitation has hit me. So I will focus on my breath and the space between heartbeats, and I'll stay in the now. And I will not be affected by it. It's our choice, see? Now you imagine all of us on this planet. How many of us are aware? How many? Do you believe a lot? Or maybe not so many? You can tell this not in judgment, but just by interacting. Whether you're on the phone, whether you're texting, you're verbally talking, communicating, you sense things. We all do. It's not like someone has a special ability, all right? We all have those abilities. Some of us aren't really aware that we do. Some of us are. And then there's those who are they're kind of awake, but they're kind of in the fog. They're awake, they've woken up, but they're kind of coming out of the fog, so they aren't too sure. You know, they don't have their sea legs yet. So, if you look at this from an all-around perspective, without judging, you start to realize how truly one we are. Because we're all affected. Something happens on the planet, right? Even though you have not been informed, even though you don't, you don't know, okay, you don't have any information on it, but you feel this forlorning, you feel this tugging, and it isn't fun. It's not that, lighthearted. And you now imagine being aware. You kind of start to pick up and say, well, there's a lot of conflict on this planet. This is why I'm picking up on these vibrational frequencies. And the conflict, what does that do? What the agitation, the conflict, what does that do for all of us? It disturbs us. Now, not so much where we're flailing around like a Tasmanian devil, but it disturbs us and it affects us in a lot of ways that we just aren't aware of. And this is what sets us off at times. When you have conflict on a grand scale, like this planet does, which people aren't aware of because they're not being informed, right? So you look at the conflict, you say, well, there's conflict, and I feel it. I feel this conflict. What do you do about it? Well, there's many things we can do, both subconsciously, unconsciously, and consciously. But remember, we're going within. This civilization is learning that its journey outside material physical world, we've done a heck of a lot of that. All of us have. In many lifetimes. We've done a tremendous amount of that. And we're beginning to understand is that the answers aren't out there. Like I was told, everybody was told, right? We were all programmed. So you go find yourself, go out there. And we don't. We don't find ourselves, really. We might think we do. So we begin to understand that all of it's inside. It's all within. It's never been out there. And from what we've learned from being out there will help us tremendously when we make the choice, because only you can make the choice. Isn't anybody else going to do it? You are. And you say, I'm going to start going within. I'm going to start practicing this. And you don't have expectations. Remember, you're on the third side of the coin, the edge. And you're learning how to dance along that edge flawlessly, effortlessly. A lot of us don't draw our attention in that direction. When we start realizing as we go within, master the ego mind, master my thoughts, and I'm going to do it. I'm not going to try it, I'm going to do it. And I'd have no idea what will happen. None of us do. But to understand oneself, then you can understand those outside of you. And most of us spend most of our time trying to figure out people outside of us rather than understanding ourselves. Emitting high positive vibration. Doesn't mean every now and then that a little negative comes in and there, but you're able to look at the negative, view it, walk through it, and it dissipates. Because we're going to have negatives. But they won't be anywhere near as powerful as they used to be. And we look at this and say, I feel a lot better with myself. Since I've been going within and meditating, focusing on my breath, space between heartbeats, and being in the now. And sure, you know, we get disturbed, like I said, for no reason whatsoever. You might wake up one morning and your mind has been going 24/7 every, a million miles a second. And so you come into things. You might have dreamt something, right, that disturbed you. And you don't remember dreaming it. And you don't remember dreaming at all because we all dream every single night. Some of us remember, some of us don't. But we've all been there more than once. None of us are exempt from it. We experience things. So we're here to do experience. And so you experience irritation and disruptiveness. But you know that it's coming. First you say, is that coming from me? And if it is, why is it there? I have conversations with myself all the time. Most of the time, not vocally, but to myself. And you always look at things. You look at things with curiosity, childlike curiosity, not adult-like curiosity, childlike. And you're curious because you want to know, why are you feeling a certain way? You ever been there where you say, I want to know why I'm feeling this way. Curious. What generated this feeling I have? Why am I feeling this way? And you look at it. See, most people will just blow it off or not even pay any attention or try to suppress it. But you begin to realize that it's quite fascinating to look at things that you experience, and you want to know why, don't you? I do. I want to know why. And this also brings us closer within ourselves by doing this. Doesn't it make sense that everything that we've strived for, every lifetime outside of ourselves, all the answers to everything that we could ever possibly want to know are within us? That all of us have the ability to tap into the one, all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. We can literally tap it. It's effortless. And what state are we in when we tap into it? Quiet state. And you're focused in the now moment, not yesterday, not tomorrow. A lot of us will just go into tomorrow. We'll go in tomorrow when we're just waking up in the now, in the today. And we're already in tomorrow. You ever done that? You ever find yourself off in tomorrow before you even begin your now? Or at times you wander off in the past. None of it's negative. It's not bad. It's to be aware of it Because remember, we're all experiencing all the time. We never stop experiencing. And we know, when you intimately know, some people know superficially, some people know a little bit deeper than that, some people know really deeply, is that when our body and mind, okay, frequency of energy, our body and mind tend to vibrate at, whether it's anger, frustration, fear, depression, loneliness, whatever it may be, or happiness, joy, blissfulness, abundance, prosperity. We're sending out a frequency, a specific frequency of energy, pure energy. So the frequency of energy that our body and mind tends to vibrate at will attract or repel the thing you currently desire. A happy life, a happy planet, no conflict, whatever it may be. Now, if it is expansive, inspirational, and positive, it will magnetize similar vibrational experiences back to you. And these are such things as amazing opportunities, positive-minded people, prosperous situations. It could go on and on. On the other hand, when we are sending out the energy of, and this is a lot of people right in this moment, in this now, on this planet, when we are sending out the energy of doubt, frustration, or fear, we tend to magnetize very difficult and challenging experiences that make us suffer endlessly. We've seen it. We've witnessed it throughout time, haven't we? It's not like it's some facade floating around. It's true. We know it. You ever notice that we wait as a people? We wait to be saved. You ever notice that? In challenging times in existence, in these bodies, throughout the ages, in all the lifetimes that we've experienced to date, we have always been waiting to be saved. Religions, man-made religions, have taken that for granted and used that to be saved. And you got to laugh about it. And, another good remedy is laughing at yourself. And why do we do that? We don't need to be saved. None of us. Remember, we're divine perfection in these bodies. That's absolute fact. We're omnipotently powerful. We never die. We never exhaust our energies. We go on and on and on and on. So what happened? What happened to the civilization? What happened to us? Why was it that many of us, thousands of years ago, were just through heart-mindedness and spirit, we were able to stay in these bodies healthily for 900, 1,000, 1,500, 3,000 years without taking anything, without using any technology? We did that as a people. Our ancestors did that as a people. What happened to us? Well, society happened to us, which is the human psyche, And it dictates to many of us. You can't do this because of this. You can't do that because of this. What if I want to do this? Well, you can't do that because this might happen or that might happen. And it's like we're always walking on eggshells. You ever notice that? And, well, if I really would like to do that, but then if I do that, then this and this and this and this. And instead of just saying, I'm going to go for it. What the heck? I'm in this life to experience life, not to board myself up into a room and be afraid to go outside of a circle that I've established for myself of comfort. Therefore, I will not learn or experience or interact with anybody to any great extent. We have this, it's like a fuel, but it doesn't burn away, okay? And this is a cosmic, pure cosmic energy that we're made of, the gods that we are. And we've all had thoughts and feelings, right, of just feeling great. I do not believe that most of us have not had that. We have. As children, going through life and having happy times, exciting times, fulfilling times, really genuine joy, bliss at certain times. It was fleeting, but we did taste it. We have many times. And this is about life. And it brings us around because sometimes we get distant from life. It's boring. Life is boring. Life is this. Life is that. So you know what usually happens when we do that? We're already manifesting something that's going to come in that's really going to shake us up. Really, it's going to shake us up. Because we never know. We never know. From day to day, hour to hour, minute to minute, second to second. Anything is possible. Anything. In any direction. We cannot stop doing what we do as the beings that we are. Because it's part of us. Part of the God. We cannot stop manifesting as long as we have a body. We can after we leave the body, say. We're not into manifesting when we leave the body because we already have everything and we understand that. We all have everything. We just don't know it. It's the way we've been programmed and trained. But anything that's been done can be undone. Remember that. Been proven throughout time. We naturally attract. It's a natural state of being. We naturally attract whatever we are focusing our attention upon. Death. I've seen it happen so many times. And you cannot, there's no way you can convince a person that that's what they've done because they're shut off to it. Death. In other words, the body ends, right? And they make such a heartfelt statement that you feel it in your heart. You feel the depth of it and the power of it. They don't know. I don't really believe they know. But what they've done is that they literally have manifested them to leave the body themselves. And since we've been trained for so long, throughout the ages, that we're small, unimportant, weak, ignorant. And through generation after generation after generation, that's a heavy-duty label, isn't it? So to speak. If you look at our body like the engine of this magical machine, right? And our mind, the brakes, gas, and steering wheel. The manifesting fuel is spirit, which is something we cannot lose, create, or need to fill up. It is forever flowing inside us, as us. It is our essential nature. No matter what we do, think, or believe, we can never, ever, ever, ever lose the connection with this divine fuel inside us. It can get buried beneath many layers of muck created by the mind. Yet once we begin to investigate the source of any block and truly uncover its mass, we will discover that the block was never real to begin with. It was all imagined. Only passion, great passion, can elevate the soul to great things. Now, when this isn't a battle, right? This is an understanding. This is more of a finessing and understanding the mind. It's because the mind is all of our problems. And to go even deeper, as Ramana Maharishi once said, all of our problems stem from the belief that we were born. Think about that, okay? That we were born. All attachments to this body, this mind, these beliefs that we were born imply that we are separate from our spiritual source. To step into the all-powerful, creative, manifesting beings that we truly are, we simply surrender all false ideas and be one with this source. As we devote ourselves to knowing ourselves as the divine, all-powerful manifesting beings we truly are, we will see that anything is possible. It's kind of like melting the barrier of illusion that the mind has created for us. Where we look at things and say, well, that's not possible. How many times have you said that to yourself? That's not possible. How can that be? Anything's possible. We're creation. We can manifest anything we choose. That's the way it is. That's our natural state of being. Happy life, blissful, joyful, discovering what we are within these bodies, enjoying our lives freely, footloose, fancy-free, with ease. All of us are great manifesting masters. Right? It's already there. The more understanding we have about the basics and foundational manifesting principles, the easier it is to discover the manifesting master within and experience the magic everywhere we go. You see, we always attract exactly what we most need to know and experience. We always attract exactly what we most need to know and experience. Some experiences we have in this life are simply old, repressed thought forms trying to bubble up from the depths of our subconscious to be healed and liberated. Whatever experience we manifest in this life is ours and the result of our thoughts, feelings, and energetic frequency. The fact that we are in this meditation right now means that we are ready to receive it. When we are able to keep our mind on what we truly desire, or for even a few minutes a day, we will manifest it into our life at the speed of light. Now, we all know that many people on this planet have a very short attention span. That's always in a hurry, right? Got to have it now. It's always in a hurry, 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 hurry. And then our attention span drops and we go to something. No matter what the subject is, our attention span will drop. We get bored with whatever it is, and we move our attention to something else. Now, learning how to hold our attention on one thing in a focused and yet non-rigid way for an extended period of time is our first manifesting secret. Discovering the spiritual being within is the key to cultivating this focused attention. What is most needed to achieve this monumental feat is a gentle, curious, and constant exploration of the truth of who and what we really are. This is something that cannot be described in words, yet the adventure to reveal this great gem within it is why we are all actually here. Have you ever just sat, in silence, and decided to turn your attention and open your heart towards the feelings of joy, gratitude, peace, and love? Letting yourself go deeply into these positive sensations for at least 15 and 20 minutes. Use your breath as your happy pump, meaning with each inhalation, breath, and joy. Hold it for a moment. Don't strain yourself. Just hold it naturally. Then exhale and release this joy, spreading it all over the world. Simply play with this. And above all, have fun with it. Now, each moment, all of us of life, we have the choice to respond to life from a completely new, alive, freeing space that is born in the now. Or we can react from an older, unconscious, conditioned pattern that stems from a past story. The choice is always ours. And each second, if and when we respond from a fresh place of freedom or from past conditioning. The type of story we are talking about is not that enjoyable fantasy fairy tale story that we all enjoy listening to around the campfire. It's that one that we drag around like an old ball and chain attached to a heavy, shielded, yet wounded heart. We've all been there, one way, shape, form, or another, this lifetime and many others. We have this, have you ever, maybe yourself or others, where you've been kind of sitting, listening? The infamous victim story is the one most of us know all too well. It's the one that is fixated on how another wronged us, or how we are struggling with money, or unable to find the love of our life, or create the career we really want. And we often unconsciously believe that by repeating the story over and over and over again, it will help us to escape it. Isn't that crazy? Transcend it, or feel better about our poor, lonely, victimized self. What really happens is that by repeating what we don't want to manifest in our lives, we simply become more wrapped up in the ego's illusion of being trapped, helpless, powerless. The good news is that we always have the power to transcend our story if and when we can become conscious enough to see who or what is truly creating it. Now, it's good to know that all of our stories were created by some life event, big or small, that actually happened. The event naturally occurred. Then the mind took over and invented its special, specific, positive or negative meaning on top of the actual event. We invite all of us, take this entire week coming up, write down and notice all the stories you tend to repeat in your mind and to other people. This very powerful, life-changing exercise. Notice if they are positive or negative stories. And who would you be without any of these stories? These stories stick because something happened in your life that your mind judged as wrong or absolutely always right, and found some sort of peace within that perception. However, when you hold on to any thought or idea about life too tightly, you become overly attached, and you miss this amazing universe that's happening now. Attachment always leads to some future suffering, and it's always our choice if we want to be free and manifest more of amazing goodies, or be stuck with the same old small tune. Now, keeping a story from our past alive takes a lot of work and will drain all of our energy, physical energy. It will keep us living in the illusion and never awaken to the divinity within our being. This illusionary mind loves to create stories about stories. Heck, you may even be creating a story about this exploration of stories. The reality is that we are not this mind, nor this ego, nor our body, and certainly not an accumulation of all of our stories. We are much more than can be expressed in words. We are an infinite soul beyond the ideas of freedom and love. We are and always will be so much vaster than any story our ego could possibly invent. We will continue to exist, all of us, long after this story has been forgotten by you and the world. Our being is naturally expansive and completely free. We have just been covering up our true infinite nature with stories. The tricky part in transcending any story is that our ego loves the drama of an emotionally juicy adventure. It's all chocolate ice cream to a child. Our life's traumas and deep issues are so personal, wild, crazy, and feel so real, they often make us feel unique, and that we are even someone superior or special. The truth is that everyone was born uniquely super special, and we all have the same core issues deep inside. These core issues are about being unloved, unwanted, abandoned, and unworthy. What a great recipe to instigate massive transformation in one's lifetime. Now, we may find ourselves sticking to these issues because the mind gets busy entertaining the victim story instead of being truly curious about recognizing our divine infinite nature. These personal issues can make up a major part of who we think we are. So to let go of them in many ways can feel like letting go of your entire identity. This is what stops most of us. We won't let go. It's too scary. If and when we drop the story, we would have to do the scariest thing of all. We'd need to totally reinvent ourselves. Maybe this isn't such a bad thing. We could choose to only be loved, free, powerful, and without any limitation. Is this a challenge we would be willing to take on? Letting go of our story may feel like dying. Yet in the end, there is no death without some kind of rebirth. So how do we truly transcend our story? Just watch it. Don't participate in it. Notice if you are focusing on what you want or don't want. That's not difficult to understand. See how present you are to the now moment. Or just reprogramming yourself with more illusions from your past. One of the two. The experience that we have will always be created from our personal interpretation and universal perception. If we find that we are really stuck putting energy into how we aren't enough of this or that, then we may simply need some tools to shift our experience. And there's different techniques, right? And it doesn't always fit. One may not fit this person, or what's fit this person. We all have great diversity. It's just how we were raised, how we were influenced, how we were programmed. One thing that we can do is stop retelling our story. Right? When you hear yourself telling somebody your famous story that makes you feel small, powerless, or less than divine, just stop. Immediately stop yourself. You can just say, okay, I'm not going to go here. I've been here many times before, but this time I'm not going there. Stop yourself, even if you're in the mid-sentence. Okay? You could be talking and catch yourself. You ever done that? You're talking with somebody and you go, oh, no, I don't care to go there. And the story that makes us feel small, powerless, or less than divine, we stop ourselves whenever. As soon as we stop repeating our story, we stop giving it energy, and the story soon withers away. Imagine a huge, all-encompassing screen, right? And it flashes in front of you. You can't go around it or above it, or it's there, and it won't disappear until you carry out stop. Flashing in front of you. Stop, stop, stop. Stop the mouth from talking. We all get that sometimes. We all get runny mouth. We just get passionate. We get going. Don't move a muscle. Be absolutely still and silent. And investigate deeper inside to discover where this story is coming from and what this part of you actually is yearning to feel, be, do, or have. We like attention in certain ways, emotional attention, right? We like it. There's nothing wrong with that. You want to be liked, you want to be accepted, you want to be interactive, you want. One of the biggest things we can do, replace your story with gratitude. When you identify the story that you are most attached to, the one you repeat most often, it's kind of like what you're about, you know, the whole shebang, and you go through it, and you're talking to someone, well, you know, this and that, and so on, and you do it all the time. That's your story. So when you identify the story that you're most attached to, the one you repeat most often, each time you start repeating it, simply state one thing that you are deeply grateful for instead. Refocus your mind on what is working in your life and what you are grateful for right now. There are literally thousands upon thousands of things that we can be grateful for, no matter where we are or who we are. We can be grateful that the sun rose this morning to heat our planet, that we have clean drinking water, or that we are breathing with life in this very moment instead of dying. The list goes on and on and on. Just look around at this world and notice the beauty, detail, and the exquisite abundance. The more time we spend in gratitude, the faster our ego stories will die and become distant memories. When we are in a place of gratitude, we automatically send out positive energetic vibrations, which in turn magnetize to us the kind of positive, uplifting things we want to manifest. Once we leave our story behind, we can see the truth of our existence, experience total freedom from our ego's suffering and limiting beliefs. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. Easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Main still. You know you're an awakening being when in the midst of chaos and suffering you are completely at ease. To arrive at this divine destination for 30 minutes today, meditate on a vast space of nothingness all around you. Do this in complete silence. Imagine that you are somewhere way out in the universe, and for billions of miles in all directions there is emptiness. Plug your ears, cover your face if need be. Space is always available to every one of us. We really want to awaken the spiritual experience in our life and invite us to dive into this spacious, silent space as long as we can. It is your choice when you let go, not if you can, when you let go. Making a decision to let go of your problem is 90% of the battle. Making a choice means releasing the past. Move forward with life. Letting go is a natural part of life. It is the initiating key in the enlightenment process. It starts when we stop judging ourselves and our life and begin to merge with the experience of the whole thing. Make that decision today to let go of any indecisiveness. Move forward with confidence that you can choose to take a baby step today towards letting go of your judgment on your life and enjoying the experience more often. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. And we will return here tonight on Reverse Aging Health Call at around 9 p.m. Eastern, and tomorrow, Saturday, November 11, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest. Eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's going on around you or inside of you.